Well, the Samsung Galaxy S23s finally came out yesterday, which was so beautiful, and I want to go ahead and kind of hit on some of the features that the Samsung Galaxy S23 has that the iPhone 14 actually doesn't have. Now, there were only really a few features I could really think about, and they weren't really anything super crazy, so the gap between these two phones are actually getting narrower and narrower, and I feel like very, very soon there's probably going to be a time where potentially you might not even think about which one you would pick up. You'd rather just pick up maybe a color you may like that the other phone doesn't have. Like, we're kind of getting there, to be honest. Now, the first thing I want to hit on is that, technically speaking, the Samsung Galaxy S23 has, I would probably argue, a more featureful camera than the iPhone 14 and even the 14 Pro. And I would particularly state that the main feature that the Samsung Galaxy S23 has over the iPhone 14 Pro, still to this day in that camera, department, is the 8K capability. You can film 8K videos on the Samsung Galaxy S23. With the iPhone 14 Pro, you can't actually do that. So, that's not something Apple can just place over with like a software update or anything like that. So that is something that's going to end up just coming out probably next year or the year after. But as of right now, the Samsung Galaxy S23, all of the S23s have that type of capability. None of the iPhones that have ever been released have that type of capability. And there's also this new nightography feature set within the Galaxy S23 camera that, Apple, definitely has night mode and whatnot, but it isn't at the same capability, I would say, or maybe not as something like the, Samsung Galaxy S23. Now, another thing I want to throw in here is that hole punch display. We have a dynamic, we have that dynamic island on the iPhone 14 Pro, but even on the 14 we have the notch, and even the 14 Pro's, little pill-shaped design it has on the front isn't as good as the dynamic AMOLED display with that hole punch display on the Galaxy S23. So that is another big thing that I'm really hoping Apple, will actually implement. And I would say the design of the Galaxy S23, at least on the front, is better than the design of the, iPhone 14 Pro. Now, there's a few things I want to hit on specifically in the Android and software department. These are some things that I think, Apple will have to implement at some time, but so we still have things like split screen multitasking on the Galaxy S23. The iPhone 14 Pro doesn't have that. And the biggest thing here, in my opinion, is that we have the ability of actually installing our own APK files, installing our own applications if we want to outside of the Google Play Store on our Android phones. The iPhones still don't have that type of capability. We have some workarounds, and I actually do think Apple will be kind of forced to bring that feature set at some point. But as of right now, that's kind of where we're at. So those are some of the main features that I would probably say that the Galaxy S23 actually has, where the iPhone 14 Pro doesn't really have them. So if you have any other thoughts or questions, please let me know in the comment section below. Hit the like button, that would mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. More importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. Hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.